Hey, Bob Monroe here. I want to talk to you for the next few minutes about divorce. It's a topic that a lot of people don't want to talk about, and there's a lot of different opinions around divorce. It's almost fashionable these days. It's certainly become acceptable, and I want to tell you that I believe that divorce is a form of child abuse, among other things. So, divorce, I believe, is the root cause of 90% of all of our social problems. 90%. Now, most people watching this are from divorced homes or have been divorced. Myself, by the way, I was married and divorced twice, and I've been currently with Lucia, my wife, for 30 years this year. I've raised 4 children, son and daughter of my own, and 2 stepsons, and all of these children are now over 30, and they're all doing quite well, thank you very much. So I want to read you some statistics just to kind of set the stage here. Now, I didn't make these up, and I do have the studies to back them up, so if anybody has issues with them, they can get a hold of me. I can give you the studies, okay? So pay attention here and just listen for a couple minutes. Children from broken homes are 9 times more likely to commit crimes than those from stable families. 9 times. 40% of children growing up in America today are being raised without their fathers. I think we kind of knew that anyway. We don't want to talk about it, but it's true. And not only that, they don't have their fathers around, most of them, and they don't have any good male role models either. Studies in the early 80s showed that children in repeat divorces earned lower grades than their peers. And their peers rated them as less pleasant to be around. Teenagers in single parent families and in blended families are 3 times more likely to need psychological help within a given year. 3 times more likely. Compared to children from homes disrupted by death, in other words, if one of the parents dies, children from divorced homes have more psychological problems. Your children are better off if one of you dies. Following divorce, children are 50% more likely to develop health problems than 2-parent families. Half the kids. Children living with both biological parents are 20 to 35% more physically healthy than children from broken homes. Most victims of child molestation come from single-parent households or are the children of drug ring members. People involved with crime and drugs. That probably makes sense. A child in a female-headed home is 10 times more likely to be beaten or murdered. Now, I want to say this is not negative towards women. God bless them. They do the best job they can possibly do, but the men aren't there for the most part to do what they're supposed to be doing. 70% of long-term prison inmates grew up in broken homes. It's not very surprising. I kind of figured that anyway. Children of divorce, particularly boys, tend to be more aggressive towards others than those children whose parents did not divorce. People who come from broken homes are almost twice as likely to attempt suicide than those who do not come from broken homes. It's not very nice figures. So I want to say that if you want to fix something, you need to address the cause. If you're dealing with just the results, the problem will continue on. And most of what's going on out there in our society today is dealing with the results. More programs, more police, more prisons, more government, more of this and that to deal with the results. And yes, we have to deal with the results. There's no question about it. Because if we don't, it'd be total chaos. But if we want to fix this, if we want to change this, we need to start dealing with the cause. And I maintain, and look at these statistics and what I've seen in the last 70 years, I'll be 70 this year, we need to start dealing with the cause. With all of the misinformation that we are being fed these days about relationships and how to be with each other, it's a wonder that couples stay together for more than a few years. Most of us are fed information, what really only works in what I call short-term recreational relationships. This is not about dating. When you get married and have children, you should be in a long-term committed relationship. And I'm not talking long-term being 3, 4, 5, 10 years. I'm talking 20, 30, at least until those children don't need you anymore. And if you get through that in good shape, you're probably going to stay together for the rest of your life. So, it can be an amazing relationship if you know what you're doing, or it can be hell if you don't. And I got to tell you, your children will pay the price for your failure. So, what's a solution? I'm not going to say the only solution. Something called the Art of Masculinity. We created a workshop for men that teaches them the real facts and truth about how to be with women, how to be a good man, how to be a good father, how to be a good husband, how to find their purpose. We cover a lot of other things. It's not just about relationships, but there's a big chunk of that that will teach men how to flourish. I was going to say survive, but we don't want to just survive, man. We want to have successful, long-term committed relationships. So our children will have what they need and what they deserve. So, the Art of Masculinity, there's one coming up soon. Go to our website, www.theartofmasculinity.com. Check it out, theartofmasculinity.com. It'll be the best investment you ever made. Invest in yourself, invest in your family, invest in your future. And let's see if we can't start turning this around. Our children are our future, and they need us to be the best parents, the best husbands, the best fathers, the best mothers. We don't have a mother's program yet, but we might one day. So thank you for listening, and I wish you all the best.